is a story. Hi everyone, Happy New Year. Here we are, January 2017. Lots of changes, lots of evolutions. So this is the deal. In 2016, I got the vision, the picture, the reality, the sense that the demographics were breaking off, splitting off. However, it's become very clear in the last 6 weeks that I'm picking up on something that's happening in the future. It's not quite happened yet, but what has happened is that the demographics, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all the signs, these demographics that are on these evolutionary narratives, they're unfolding, spiraled evolutionary stories in particular themes. I do believe, I feel, I sense that they've split. And so what I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be more work, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing this, but what I've started to do for 2017, January, is for each demographic, I am doing 2 readings. So there's a split happening. There's a certain populace of people, there's a certain evolutionary story that's unfolding for, let's say, half, or at least a quantity, maybe even a third, a quantity of Aries. And then there's another storyline unfolding for another populace, another segment of the Aries demographic. It's the same for Taurus, etc. So let's get started on the year. I'll explain it as we go through the reading this month. So let's get going. Everyone, so there's a lot to talk about as we complete 2016 and we enter into 2017. So of course, this is our January 2017 Alchemy Scope, right? This series of Alchemy Scopes for this new beginning of a new cycle, and indeed it is. So let's start with talking about the numerology. 2016 was a 9-year. It was a hard year for many, many people out there. It was a very tough year. On the collective scale, it was a very tough year. In fact, this 9-year of 2016 was about endings, completion. It was about old patterns coming up to the surface for healing, for seeing. So as we complete this 9-year, we enter into 2017, which is a 1-year. 2017, 2, 0, 1, and 7 together add up to 10. This 10-year adds up 1 and 0 to 1. All right? 1 is initiation. It's individuation. It's the individual. It's initiative and innovation. It is a new beginning. 1 is a new cycle. It is literally the new seed. So as most of you know who have tuned into my Alchemy Scopes forever, since I've begun, or even more recently, you realize that these Alchemy Scopes are always attuned to natural cycles. So they're always aligned with the new moon portal point. And the new moon is a new seeding time. Indeed, everybody, 2017 for all of us on the collective scale is representing energetically a new seeding time. It's a new moon on a massive scale. So we're entering into a new phase of a 9-year cycle. So this 2017 year is about new beginnings. So this is fantastic. And I have to tell you, everything that I'm going to bring up now is aligning with this message of 2017. Ironically, on this new moon point, where we are officially kind of beginning, this is post-winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, and entering into this new cycle for the year, I'm recording this, of course, before this Capricorn new moon, right before January 2017 begins. This new moon point, this Capricorn new moon, is the third of the last 3 months of a 7-degree new moon point. Scorpio had a 7-degree new moon, Sagittarius had a 7-degree new moon, and Capricorn has a 7-degree new moon. In fact, to be exact, the new moon that is occurring on the 28th/29th of December is at 7 degrees 59 minutes Capricorn. Now, everybody, the amazing thing that's aligning with this new moon, this new beginning point, that is representing for us the beginning of the chapter, the pre-chapter of the calendar year shifting to 2017, is that Uranus goes direct on the same day as our new moon. Now, if that weren't enough, we have the most amazing Sabian symbol, everybody. Listen to this. The Sabian symbol that is imbued at 7 degrees Capricorn is this. In a sunlit home, domesticated birds sing joyously. The keynote that Dane Rudhyar writes is the wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. The wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. So let me read on. In various ways, this section of the cyclic process brings to us images glorifying the power and benefits which a steady and well-integrated society brings to its members. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn was the ruler of the Golden Age before he became a symbol of binding limitations. The person who accepts willingly, or even better, takes for granted the value of these limitations, can lead a serene and happy existence, whatever the social status. This stage suggests to us how we can enjoy our life condition by allowing the spiritual values it embodies to fill our consciousness. In every condition provided by a healthy culture, which hardly refers to our present chaotic world, human beings can find enjoyment in the roles they are born to play. Everybody, with 2017 equating to the energy of a 1 year, a new cycle, a new birth, individuation. This is about you becoming you. This is about you as a distinct soul print, a distinct individual, stepping into your uniqueness, your distinctness, and doing you. This could not be more aligned with the bigger picture. I mean, it's quite something. So this particular symbology is imbued not only for this particular new moon, but at the point at which Uranus is going direct. And Uranus is the individual. It is our distinct genius self. It's our uniqueness, our distinctness. So there's no accident. There's complete alignment with the fact that Uranus is going direct and that it's happening on this new moon. And this new moon is the third of 3 sevens. And this particular symbol is the picture. This is birds singing joyously in a sunlit home. This is about emanation. Sun emanates. This home is safety, security. It's the self. It's the body. Everybody, this is quite something, you know. Now, let's talk about this new cycle. So you heard me say in the introduction to this video that I had been getting a call for a long time now, actually. This is since last spring. So spring of 2016, I got a really clear picture that that these demographics of the signs are going to start to split. That there's going to be a threading of the story. It's going to fray out because as people step into their individuation, as people understand that they are distinct, as they understand they are a powerful, distinct facet of consciousness, of source, they are going to break, they're going to go into more of their aligned soul print path. And the general demographics for the unfolding is going to shift and change. The thing is, I tend to pick up on things well before they manifest. So when I picked this up in spring 2016, it wasn't necessarily happening yet. What I got clear on in the last 6 to 8 weeks is that there is a split, but it's not threaded out into many different facets of story. So for example, instead of the demographic of Aries continuing on a general evolutionary path of unfolding narrative, it is split, but it's now split in two. So there's a distinct evolution upward, and there's another evolution going in another direction. As we move from a stable state into a chaotic state, as people continue to unveil and awaken and really align with their distinct soul print, they will not follow a general narrative. So yes, there is a split now. Is that split going to further break into different threads of story? Yes. At some level in the next couple of years, I don't necessarily foresee these particular readings following any particular thick storied narrative. They might, because again, I see things well in advance, years in advance of sometimes this stuff happening. So it could be that it's 5 years down the road, but maybe it's sooner. It's going to depend on how quickly people wake up and how people really... I think what's happened for me in the last 6 to 8 weeks is I've realized the level at which people are still strongly asleep. And so because that's the case, the understanding that I've gotten, the clarity that I asked for and that I received was that indeed there is a split, but right now it's only a bifurcation. It's only a split into two. So that's what we're going to proceed with. So let's move forward into the individual signs, and we're going to take a look and see one or two, A or B, left or right, because I am going to show you two different spreads and two different I Ching narratives. Okay? And one of those is going to align more for your story. All right, so let's get started. Scorpio. So I'd like you to meditate on two forms, square and circle. Square and circle. Now, if you'd like to align the form square with the number 1 or with the directional identifier right, you can do that. And I want you to also meditate on the form circle or number 2. It can also be B of A and B, or left of right and left. But I think the easiest way, because you're my very first recording, you know, I'm doing this split spread situation now for the first time, and I really do, it is my very authentic intention to make this easy and smooth as opposed to more complicated. It is absolutely against my deep desires to make any of this complicated, but unfortunately there's more information coming through. So I'm going to bring it, at least for now, I'm going to bring it forward, and I will attempt to be as clear and concise as possible. I think that square and circle, tapping into the forms, are going to be the easiest for people. because it's not about one being better than two. In fact, it's not that at all. A being the first letter in the alphabet, B being the second. There's always some hierarchical association that humans do with that stuff. And because I didn't want that, I think that square and circle are going to be best. So tap in. And once you know what it is, that is your form. So for all of these alchemy scopes coming forward, you are going to be square. You're not going to go back and forth between square and circle. Now, could it be that you kind of switch paths, or that you shift trajectory? Anything's possible. Absolutely anything is possible. But you're not going to flip-flop back and forth every month. If you pick square or if you pick circle, I am doing the readings according to those pathways. Okay? So let's begin. We're starting with square. So if you selected square as the resonant form for you, that means that that is your unfolding trajectory at this time. Let's start with the I Ching that came forward for you. You received number 15, humility. Humility has to do with balance. You know, it's about being humble in situations where even if you are successful, famous, have much to your name, to have an attitude of honoring the other in your interactions puts things back in balance. And so what the visionary I Ching says is the most successful people are those who know how to bring each situation into balance by reducing that which is too great and adding to that which is too little. So humility, that is a core narrative for the square path, humility. Now, if we look at your reading, let's take a look at the spread. We're going to start on the far right side. You can see the cards there, bringing closer and fear. Now, let me start by saying I'm using the volatile deck from Damin here for the square readings. All right? So, bringing closer, fear. Now, if you look underneath that, you see the tarot card, the Six of Pentacles. That is the core message, the core narrative of your month. And if you look at the Six of Pentacles, humility is implied there because the Six of Pentacles has to do with generosity, material giving, material sharing, whether you're the one receiving or whether you're the one giving, but it has to do with that. Now, the interesting thing is what's activated in your soul right now is fear. Fear is coming closer to you, and it has to do with generosity. It might be that you feel undue pressure to be generous, undue pressure to give, undue pressure to be friendly to your neighbors, undue pressure to think about things as all one, undue pressure to do the right thing, say the right thing, be politically correct, etc. Okay? So there's fear that's driving a theme around humility, a theme around Six of Pentacles. So you might be feeling pressure and it's causing fear. That's the main narrative. Now, if we look to the right of that, we can see preparing no. Now, this is in the mental sector, and this is very intriguing. This is very intriguing indeed, because the preparing no is saying that in your mind, you are determined to either say no, have limits, hold your boundary, or just be negative. So it's like you're insisting. There's a preparation for no. So you're actually setting up your mind, your mental constructs to say no. To say no to another person, a relationship, a job, a situation. It could be because there's so much going on certainly in the US, but I think globally with regards to, different peoples of different ethnicities. This is about preparing, no, you're not going to take it. You're not going to stand for something, whatever that something is. And it could have to do, just because the Six of Pentacles is coming up as kind of the main core theme, it could be that you're preparing not to give. Not to give. Okay? Now, if we look to the right of that, you see the danger card and the knowledge card. This is in the emotional sector. So you, in your emotions, Scorp, you're feeling a danger, that knowledge, new knowledge is dangerous. You're feeling in your gut that new information, new learning, new knowledge is not safe. It's not safe. New information is unsafe. So there's a protectiveness around your emotions on this narrative path. Then if we look to the right of that, we see fast and choosing. Fast and choosing. This is coming up in the foundations sector, your 3D reality. So something very quickly is going to be occurring in the month of January that has to do with a choice. You have to make a choice around something. But the thing is, you're preparing to say no. You're already adopting a mindset of, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to do it. Your mind is already set, in other words. Your mind is set. As opposed to being open to potential, it's set that you're going to say no. But there's a choice upcoming quickly. Something's going to be approaching, meeting you in January, just needing a decision. But it's probably going to be no. And it might be somebody coming to you asking for money, for help. Okay? Now, if we look to the far right, we see hope, death, opening, and dreaming. This is in the spiritual sector, Scorp. And this is saying that there's that hope, you might be feeling now, you might be feeling as we enter January 2017, as we enter the new year, that maybe hope, that there's a death around optimism, that there's a death around hope. Now, there's a lot going on in the world, and that's not an invalid feeling, right? So just honor your process. You want to honor your process while doing what you can to remain open. Because opening, you can see hope, opening, and dreaming are all with death there. So there's a transformation occurring for you with regards to optimism, being open, and dreaming of the future. So there's something transmutating within you. With the fear card, the no card, and the danger card all coming up, what I'm getting for this path for Scorpio is that there's a lot of fear driving a closed system here. Okay? So now let's move on to the circle. So Scorpio, if you selected circle as your resonant storyline, you received another I Ching narrative. You received 2 I Chings. Number 30, clinging like fire, and it came with changing lines, and it became number 49, revolution. Clinging like fire is clinging to the spark of life, clinging to that which brings light and life and love to your life. Clinging to the source of fuel and energy and vitality, that whatever it is that brings that to you. The interesting thing is for you, it's connected to revolution, number 49. Number 49, revolution, is about things moving out of a time of stability and into a greater level of disruption and instability. A chaos mode is indeed emerging, and this is talking about that. But for you, for the circle Scorpios, this is about clinging to that which gives you life, that which gives you light in the emerging chaos. So that's the narrative for you. Now, if we look at your spread, at the far right side, we can see the joy card, trading, and then 2 of Pentacles reversed. So the joy, fun, happiness card with regards to trading. This is about having fun in relationships, having fun in business. having fun in your work, your engagements, your projects, your interrelationships with people. Typically, trading, exchanging does have some financial exchange involved. So it could either be work related, project related, or something even in your neighborhood, like going shopping at your local shops and stuff like that. But for you, there's a theme of Two of Pentacles reverse that's underpinning the joy that you have with your engagements with other people, with your exchanges and trading that you do with other people. And Two of Pentacles is about, when it's upright, it's about juggling financial, responsibilities. When the Two of Pentacles is reversed, it can definitely talk about a loss. It can talk too about something needed to be dropped. So for example, you were keeping things going barely, perhaps, with your finances, and finally something is dropping. The ball is dropping. And either you're releasing one of your two, core focuses that perhaps is one of your trading, one of your work. Could be that you do different things for your income. You might have to give up one and focus more on another in order to bring in the money that you need. Or it could indicate loss, meaning monetary loss. So for some of you, it could be that you're doing the work you love, but you're not making money at it. And it could be that January confronts that. And so you're having to make some decision. Two always has to do with a decision, and it could be either that you voluntarily drop one of your, let's say, debt burdens, or a job burden that wasn't bringing in the amount of money that you needed, or that something does it for you. So it could be some financial loss or a decision with regards to financial loss in January. Now, if we go to the right, we can see the Remember card with the unicorn. Underneath that, sick and toxic. This is in the mental sector. So remembering what doesn't work. So in January, you're going to be thinking about things in the past that were toxic, things in the past that didn't work. And by the way, this can literally have to do with sickness. So it could be that you're being reminded about illnesses that either you had or people in your family had. And it could be that some of the stress that you're encountering monetarily, financially in January is in fact starting to aggravate your physical body. So it might be that indeed you are remembering illnesses, let's say that you had, aches, pains that you had, growths that you had. Okay, so memories of that might be coming up. Know that the sick toxic card, the memories of illness or sickness or dissonance in the body or in your life patterns, all of that has to do directly with the topic that's at hand this month. And the topic that's at hand might be money out of control, going into major debt, etc. So if we look at the card to the right of the sick Remember, we're looking at romantic love. And this is in the emotional sector. So Scorpio, this is a beautiful card to have in the emotional sector. Romantic love doesn't have to just be a lover, like the love that you have in a lover type of relationship. It can also, I've learned that this card can also just be agape love. So it might be that over the course of January, there's a new feeling that you're starting to access of love. Agape love, perhaps, or even romantic love. But there's something emerging into your field that's allowing you to feel love. Then if we look at the portal card next to that, this is in the foundation section. So the portal card is talking about this is temporary. The portal card is saying you're going through a chapter, you're going through a temporary situation, and I think it has to do with the Two of Pentacles reversed, where it might be difficult. You're having some challenges, but it's interesting because you can look at this spread and it's very mixed with beneficial cards. So the joy trading, you are having fun doing what you're doing, but money's collapsing. In your mind, you're remembering a time either when you were physically sick or that you're thinking about when things didn't work or how they don't work. So you're thinking about that, but you're able to access a feeling of love in your gut, in your body system. You're accessing the emotions of love. Portal is saying it is temporary. So just know that. Know that this is just a temporary process that you're going through now. Interestingly, in the spiritual sector, you have the Friends card and you have miscellany, many things. This is in the spiritual sector. So it could be that you're starting to feel either surrounded by your guides, your family, your light family. It could be that the topic of friends and what they mean to you, or what you'd like to build for yourself, to have your spiritual tribe, physical spiritual tribe, real people in your life, like-minded people. It could be that that is very much on your mind in January, and that you indeed start to seek out people, spiritual family, that you can have as friends, that you can start to connect with and create roots with, new roots, okay? So Scorpio, that's it for that. Now, I have one mantra for both the squares and the circles, okay? And this is your mantra for this month. This will aid both of you. I see the truth now, like an X-ray. I see beyond all facades into the root system. The hologram of form as symbol to an energetic narrative is clear. Everything is symboled story. Everything is energy. I see the truth now. Everyone, before I sign off and wish you a very good month ahead, an evolutionary, rich, and expansive month ahead, I want to remind you that in order to get your personalized Alchemy Scope with a spread, with an astrological assessment of your solar return, with a discussion of your Sabian symbology, of everything that's activated, including your transits, I urge you to make contact. The link is below. And this is a video that you're going to have permanent access to, so you can refer to it throughout the year. But there is about a 2-week lead time, so I encourage you, if you'd like to tap into what the whole of 2017 has in store for you, please go ahead and click the link below to place your order right away. Talk to you soon. Bye. Dear Scorpios, both squares and circles, this is a fresh, new adventure for me. Please let me know if it was confusing, if it was clear. Let me know how you're resonating with what's coming. This is called to come, but it doesn't feel comfortable for me. It feels like a burden, to be quite frank, because it feels like this is a lot of work. And I need to be sustained financially. And so this is going to be interesting to see how I manifest or not. So I would like to continue to bring the messages through as they serve. Okay. So I'm sending you much love for this month ahead. Keep your eyes peeled for more videos coming outside of the Alchemy Scopes. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and become a patron. Think about becoming a patron. I would very much appreciate expanding my patronage family. That would be wonderful. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful, rich, expansive month, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied